the audio guy.
All right, so let's just get right into it. How was practice today?
Good. You know, we're starting to get the old fall weather around here, so it's a little chilly. But guys practice well. They practice fast. We talked about what part of the season that we're in right now, and this is the part that becomes a grind. You know, we'll take care of them as far as practice goes. And, cut it down as the season progresses, as we see fit. But when we practice, we got to go hard. We're playing against an athletic team that has some big physical guys, and we got to get ready.
Anyone held out today that wasn't talked about earlier, even if just precautionary kind of stuff?
No.
You've talked in the past about maintaining the joy for the game amongst the players, especially when you get to this point in the season. How exactly do you do that? How do you approach that?
A lot of times it's just reminding them, because as much as they all love football, if you don't remind them, sometimes it becomes Groundhog Day. You know, you kind of get up and you put your pads on and you go to practice and you finish and say, no, don't forget, you love this. This is fun. Like, play with some passion and some energy. Practice like you want to play. You know, you only get 12 games, you know, and we only go hard twice a week in pads. I mean, that's like 3 times a week you get to kind of play the game that resembles the game that you love. And you'll get to January and it'll be over. So we're 6 games in with only 6 games left. Like, take advantage of every single day. We had good energy and good passion today, and guys were flying around.
And Keller had said after the game that maybe he had lost a little of that joy, or there was maybe some overthinking going on, and on Saturday there was more playing than thinking. Is that kind of what you saw?
That's I guess a good description by him. I wouldn't say that I necessarily saw that, but if that's how he felt, I understand that. But I thought he played well. I thought he made quick decisions. So when he pulled the ball down, there was no hesitation. He ran and went full speed. Made some great throws. So yeah, kind of like everybody, you always need to be kind of refocused periodically. And I think he had another great day today.
There's been a lot of, we've talked about the tight ends a lot all season. I think they had something like 100 yards receiving in the first half against Utah. What you saw from them, why were they a priority kind of going into the game because of what Utah does?
Well, so every time we kind of talk about this subject, just my view on this a little bit different, being a former receiver, is whether or not you get the ball is dependent on the defense. So there are some days where some guys will catch balls, some guys won't. It just so happened that we had a couple of interesting formations that we used, not knowing where the ball was going to go. And Cade Smith early on popped open and we got the ball. Same thing later with Colby. Kind of ran a wheel route and the guy dropped him, so he got into the big ball. And Dalton did a really good job working the middle, got a couple of them. So next game might be completely different. It might be J.J. Arcega-Whiteside has a few catches, and Donald has a couple catches, and Trent Irwin has a couple catches, and Connor has a couple catches, and we're talking about the receivers. So the biggest thing for us is we want to mix up our personnel and know that we have guys that can make plays, and every week it might be another guy or another group.
And then coverage-wise, what does Oregon like to do on the outside?
They have some really good corners, but they will press and they will play man, and they make it difficult to get open. They don't give you a lot of space to breathe. You got to work your releases. You got to make contested catches, difficult catches, because they're not going to be wide open. But they mix up their coverages. They'll play some zone, they'll play some man, they'll blitz, they'll drop out. So it's really play by play, keeping your eyes open and seeing what's in front of you.
Who's taking Phillips' spot first half?
We'll see. Depends on what the first call is, because we play. It might be one guy in base, it might be a different guy in nickel. Defensively, you're always kind of waiting to see what the offense puts out there the first play or the first couple plays before you really know who's going to play the most of the game. But we have a couple different options, thankfully. Javon's playing really well. Mike Williams is playing really well at the nose, and we'll see what happens there.
So on 3rd and 1 now, when you're throwing your tight end for 54 yards or whatever it was, is this now you're going to be a riverboat gambler now?
Oh,
is this going to be going to be a new trademark?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You know me better than that. But we try to take advantage of what we think we see. That was one of those when they lined up the way that they did. Keller made the right decision to change the play and have everybody pop out. We have athletic tight ends and some good matchups, and thankfully it worked out.
Okay. What was your reaction when Bryce Love kind of slowed up the last few yards. Did you think he was going to get caught?
No,
Just kidding. That was kind of weird.
He
though,
should
huh?
never get caught, but he was getting close, and we had a conversation about it afterwards.
Okay.
He knew it, and he knew it. He knows he can't do that because it was a 3-point game at that time.
Right.
And if that ball gets popped out and goes by the back of the end zone, it's a touchback, and now we're up by 3, and they have the ball. So thankfully, he's able to hold on to it and make it a 2-score game.